shattered dimensions. Alex, Kim, and two other friends stood in the lab, eyes wide as a strange energy surged from the machine, humming ominously as it filled the room. They reached for the off switch, but with a blinding flash, they felt the floor vanish beneath them, spiraling into a vast, swirling chasm. When they awoke, they were on a floating island, surrounded by fragments of different worlds, each piece floating in a surreal, kaleidoscopic sky. Strange flora glowed and twisted around them, and Alex, always the curious one, eagerly examined a plant with metallic roots. As Alex touched it, he felt a surge of energy, and his hand briefly shimmered, taking on a metallic sheen that pulsed with power. Kim, overwhelmed by the beauty, pulled out her sketchpad, capturing the bizarre plant, which shifted colors with each stroke she added. A crackling sound broke the silence, and they turned to see another floating island drifting toward them, half covered in ice. They climbed a narrow bridge of floating stones and stepped onto the icy island, shivering as the cold bit through their clothes. Suddenly, a shard of ice began to melt in Alex's hand, transforming his skin into a reflective surface that glinted like crystal. With each world fragment they explored, they noticed themselves changing, adopting small traits from each place they visited. They found a piece of their own world, a street lamp half buried in snow, glowing with a faint, familiar warmth. The lamp seemed to pulse, pulling at something deep inside them, a longing to return to the world they'd left behind. Alex realized that each fragment connected to their reality and wondered if gathering them could restore their shattered dimension. As they ventured further, they encountered fragments of lush forests, arid deserts, and eerie, mist-filled swamps. Each fragment brought new challenges. In the swamp, Kim felt her senses heighten, able to hear sounds miles away. She sketched the swamp creatures, each one stranger than the last, hoping to capture the essence of this mysterious place. A creature with translucent wings hovered near Alex, its eyes mirroring his own curiosity as it blinked at him. Kim and Alex were awestruck by the diversity around them, realizing each fragment held its own rules and magic. They reached a fragment with tall, dark mountains, shadows moving like liquid over jagged, stone surfaces. Kim felt drawn to the shadows, her skin taking on a darker, more muted tone as she touched the smooth rock. Each step seemed to pull them deeper into the mystery of this dimension, as if the fragments were alive, responding to their presence. A warm breeze carried them to a sunny fragment with crystal-clear waters and fish that glowed in vibrant neon colors. Alex dove in, and for a moment, his skin glowed like the fish, illuminating the water around him as he swam. They realized that each fragment taught them something, each experience leaving an indelible mark on their bodies and minds. They gathered fragments of familiar objects, a bicycle wheel, a childhood toy, a single page from a favorite book. Kim sketched each fragment, her pages filling with memories she never wanted to forget, a record of their surreal journey. Alex wondered if the dimension had a mind of its own, guiding them through a carefully woven tapestry of realities. They found a fragment of their old school, half embedded in the ground, vines wrapping around its crumbling brick walls. It reminded them of the friends and family they missed, a bittersweet pang tugging at their hearts. Just then, a figure emerged from the shadows, a tall, hooded stranger whose eyes glowed faintly blue. The stranger spoke in a voice that echoed, warning them of the dangers in meddling with dimensions beyond their own. But Alex was determined, feeling a strange kinship with the fragments, as if he were part of their hidden purpose. Kim and the others agreed to continue, gathering pieces to weave their world back together, guided by an unspoken bond. They encountered a scorching fragment of desert, with sands that shifted like liquid, mirroring the sky above. As they walked, their skin adapted, radiating warmth that shielded them from the desert's relentless heat. Each world reshaped them, blending their identities with the fragments they touched, uniting them with the universe around them. They crossed into a tranquil forest, trees so tall they seemed to pierce the stars, roots tangling around their feet. A fragment of a park bench from their town lay among the roots, worn but welcoming, as if waiting just for them. They rested, each lost in thoughts of home, yet somehow feeling more connected to each other than ever. As they pressed onward, the fragments they collected began to glow, forming a shimmering constellation of memories. They encountered fragments of creatures, phantoms of wolves, birds with wings of smoke, and beings made entirely of light. Kim sketched each creature, marveling at the infinite possibilities each fragment held, a world within a world. Alex felt his body flicker with every touch, the essence of each world fragment seeping into his very core. They encountered the hooded stranger again, who revealed that each fragment had its own history, its own soul. The stranger offered them a choice, to restore their world fully or leave part of this dimension untouched, for others to find. They huddled together, discussing, realizing that each fragment taught them something precious about perspectives beyond their own. The decision weighed heavily, but they agreed to leave some fragments intact, a doorway to the wonders they had experienced. They gathered the last piece, a golden key that pulsed with light, and felt their world stitching itself back together. The ground beneath them shifted, fragments aligning, and slowly, their town began to reappear around them. They blinked, finding themselves back in the lab, the machines silent but the memories of their journey vivid and real. Kim looked down at her sketchpad, seeing fragments of their adventure captured in lines and colors, a testament to their bravery. Alex felt his hand, still faintly shimmering, a reminder of the worlds they'd seen and the friends they'd made. They shared a silent promise to never forget the other dimensions, knowing their lives would never be quite the same. Stepping out of the lab, the familiar street felt different, the world richer, layered with the echoes of endless realities. They noticed subtle changes, trees with unfamiliar leaves, birds singing in strange melodies, a trace of the shattered dimension. Together, they walked home, hearts full of gratitude, knowing the fragments they'd left behind would inspire others. Kim felt a renewed sense of purpose, her sketches now a portal to the worlds they'd explored, her art transformed forever. Alex smiled, already planning new experiments, eager to see where science and imagination might take them next. As they parted ways, they felt an unbreakable bond, each carrying a piece of the shattered dimension within them.